We are consumed by acquiring degrees without development, acquiring properties without posterity, and acquiring knowledge without know-how. Hi, I'm Mbonusi Obiageli, and here goes Pedagogy, where I talk to you about social, political, and economic matters in the form of a 1,000-word essay to grow your mind. Subscribe and keep watching. If you are not the first child or the first of either gender in your middle-class home, chances are that you will have to go through life with a lot of hand-me-downs. Your books, clothes, toys, and perhaps your water bottle would all have been used by an older sibling. In many ways, you are completely alien to the concept of brand new, but you are not appalled by this. Rather, you feel a delightful sense of connection when you discover the half-solved math problem that your elder sister scribbled on her textbook, which is now yours. And even when her old shoe is not your perfect fit yet, you add soft tissues to the toe box to make it work. Long before sustainability became a sizzling topic, you were born into sustainability. It was your only way of being. Yet, irrespective of the ethical and cultural values you believe underlie these principles of reuse, affordability stands as the core economic factor that propagates such lifestyle. Affordability is the decision maker of the thrifty. It is the silent conscience of the deprived. In our global economic system, nations are either producers or consumers, manufacturers or users, givers or takers, and the life you get to experience in any nation is largely based on which side of the divide you occupy. From the refrigerator that gives you an electric shock when touched with wet hands, to the cars you may have driven, all of which you had never been a first owner, and may never will, somewhere, somehow, along the lines in your adult existence, you will discover that your whole life has been an overwhelming epicenter of second-hand items. That these economic systems are not far-fetched machinations of intelligent minds, but your very lived reality. That we may all have the same life under God, but different economic destinies depending on the production power of our nations. That our world operates an organized system, an organized scheme of hand-me-downs, where consumer nations feed off the remains of producing nations. Now, as you're older, you see that these items of yours are still slightly the same: clothes, computers, books, but it's not the same excitement with which you enjoyed your sister's things that you move through life with these possessions. Like your parents, your lifestyle is still limited by affordability, because your purchasing power is inhibited by your non-producing nation. You are unable to purchase anything brand new, because it is grossly out of reach and your basic needs are becoming fanciful luxuries. Very fanciful luxuries. The cycle is endless. The logic is simple. You eat leftovers if you do not cook. You eat remnants if you choose not to cook. Of course, these analogies underscore the necessity of national production and the need to be so nationally self-contained that our products and services are our first point of call. That if you depend on the inventive mind of others, then your norm would be to use the discarded items of those people, and thankfully so. The fact that it is even aspirational to be the first owner of an item shows how far behind we are in the production value chain. But one would wonder what I expect ordinary citizens to do in a nation where there is no credit system to trust the people, in a continent where there are no insurances to shield the people, and in a space where there is no venture capitalist or angel investor to believe in the people. All fundamental financial systems required to kickstart and maintain a production economy. In the absence of all these bases, are citizens not at this point victims of their consumer nations which have kept them in perpetual state of unworthiness for new things? But let us revisit the four factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. The axle of the current global economy is oiled by the minds of excellent entrepreneurs whose innovation continue to organize and reorganize the other three factors of production to meet current needs. This is the thought process we need for grooming the next generation, one that prides itself on production of own goods and not reliance on others, one where the brain is not for the regurgitation of stored facts, but for the alignment of multiple perspectives to create new thinking. One that challenges this version of entrepreneurship that hit our universities, which deals solely on labor, particularly through buying and selling what is already internationally manufactured. Agree that there are several facets of entrepreneurship, but the one that keeps some nations above others is the one where value chains are internally dominated. Our casual dissociation from these realities is the root cause of our generational dependency, mediocrity, and the decline of our states. So, we are consumed by acquiring degrees without development, acquiring properties without posterity, and acquiring knowledge without know-how. Our choices, almost like an automated response to an inbuilt system of dependence, even when we claim sovereignty. But our lives a remorseful reflection of beggarly behavior, the proverbial beggar that has no choice. You see how we carefully assess items to choose the newest of the old items that we are handed down. Our standard is to choose the newest of the old. Our standard is the newest of the old. Although the lines that indicate whether our choices are driven by affordability or sustainability are often distorted, yet if danger is probable in the continued use of a machine, if dignity is compromised in the pursuit of an option, then we have surely left the confines of sustainability and are clearly in the territory of costs. Affordability echoes through our lives, masked oftentimes as sustainability, but we know which is which. It sits silently in our hearts. Sustainability is freedom. Affordability constrains. Sustainability is freedom. Affordability constrains. Sustainability sees the future. Affordability sees today. Yes, by our conservative lifestyle and minute footprints, we are stewards of sustainability, the caretakers of Earth, the conscience of science, the preservers of humanity, harnessed nothing, destroyed little for many reasons, but chiefly because we literally cannot afford to. But creation must not always go alongside destruction. And we are all deserving of new things, brand new things. If you say we are not, then you are not.